This is my Economics 490 presentation for Professor Jonathan Graves by Shikhar, Nandi. Football is considered to be one of the most widely watched sports in today's age. With such a high quality of entertainment for individuals around the world comes a higher level of deep analysis to further understand the intricacies of such a sport. Many mathematicians have utilized their talents to examine many of the features in football, coming towards the development of a new type of data analytics known as sports analytics. Because of this, many teams in the world have taken a more mathematical and statistical approach towards identifying whether or not players are a good fit for a team. Because of the popularity of football, many such leagues have been formed, with every country having their own league. The four most popular leagues in the world are the English Premier League, La Liga, aka the Spanish League, Bundesliga, aka the German League, and the French League, with the English League and the Spanish League being the most popular of the four. The Premier League has been considered a far more aggressive and unpredictable league compared to the Spanish League. This is because of its most unpredictable nature, the lack of goals being scored by players, and the fact that every 5 to 6 years different teams tend to win the league, therefore leaving a main champion out of the question. Whereas in La Liga, it is largely dominated by two teams. One of the teams are Real Madrid, and the other team is Barcelona.f.c. With such a popular sport comes numerous talent. Lionel Messi is an Argentinian player who, since the age of 16, has done nothing but surpass expectations and garner mass attention of the population, thus labeling him as one of the most valuable and greatest footballers in our day and age. Throughout his career, Lionel Messi has always played for one team, and this team is Barcelona FC, a team regarded as one of the best in La Liga, or the Spanish League. However, because of the less aggressive nature of La Liga compared to its counterpart, the Premier League, many have come to question whether or not Lionel Messi's success is due to him being a good player or the fact that he plays in a much easier league. This thus leads me towards my research question. Would Lionel Messi still be considered the most valuable player in the world if he were to play in the Premier League, aka the English League, rather than La Liga? In other words, would he be able to perform just as well if he were to play in a much more aggressive league than compared to what the league is already playing, which is La Liga? So, what do people have to say about this particular topic in general? Well, there have been numerous arguments on the web, from forums to news channels, all arguing over whether or not Messi is truly considered a great player. Some other players, who themselves have done internal transfers between the English Premier League and the Spanish League, have claimed that even Messi wouldn't be able to handle the aggressive impact the English Premier League offers compared towards La Liga. To help answer this question, an approach was taken to construct a simulation if Messi would be able to play in the Premier League. Each football league takes place over an entire year. Therefore, this is thus known as a season. The first step I did was utilize something known as ELO ratings that help predict the strength of a team based on their goals and other factors. In other words, it is a rating system that ranks each team based on their performance throughout a season. After I made use of ELO ratings, I utilized a Poisson regression model to help determine the estimated goals with and without Lionel Messi in the same season. Lastly, to help create a conversion tool for ELO ratings of La Liga towards ELO ratings of Premier League, I looked at a tournament model in where La Liga teams played against Premier Leagues in order to create a linear regression to make this conversion. Firstly, what are ELO ratings? Every football league takes place throughout the year with 52 teams all playing each other twice, resulting in 380 matches in total for both La Liga and the Premier League, respectively. The picture on the right showcases the use of ELO ratings during the movie The Social Network to help create a program that ranks people based on their previous performances against other people. This formula first originated as a means to rank chess players, but was later adopted in the realm of sports to help rank teams based on their earlier performances in matches. Rather than explaining how every single variable correlates with one another, the basic gist is that I had run the ELO rating formula through an entire season, utilizing the final ELO results for the teams that played in that league, where the results were calculated utilizing a previous result from a previous match within the season, the goals scored within a particular match, the expected result, the actual result, and a certain constant showcasing the level of difficulty of this particular league. The Poisson regression is a type of linear model for help counting data. The basic model for goal prediction was to make the dependent variable the expected number of goals and the independent variable the home, team, and opponent. Home being whether they played at home or not, the team is which team, and the opponent is the effect of who they are playing against. This was run on a data set for one particular season. The data had to be reconstructed and is defined in the picture below as a sample of the data set, where every single match had to be modeled twice, one for the home team and one for the opponent team, which culminated in the results showcased on the right, where e to the power of this coefficient illustrates the expected goals of a team when they play at home and away. When this model thus is used as a prediction function, it showcases the expected goals of every single match for each particular team, thus allowing me to utilize this within the ELO formula. Now, in order to help show how Messi contributed towards the estimated goals, we introduced something known as the Messi impact. This leads towards the construction of two new variables within this formula. The first one is played, and the second one is played away. Played being whether Messi played or not, and the second one is whether he played at home or not. Now, at first, this seems like a simplistic model, as it could essentially apply to any player who happened to also play the same matches that Messi had played. However, it does give us some basic insight as to how Messi's basic presence has an effect on the overall expected goals. Running this, we can get results of Messi's home coefficient and Messi's away coefficient, showcasing the amount of goals Barcelona has scored at home and away. As we can clearly see, Messi's home coefficient is 1.648 and his away coefficient is 0.95, far less than his home coefficient. Utilizing this model, where Messi has been present, now creates a type of fit model, where we can run this fit model on the same data set, except we can exclude Messi from any of the matches he's been present, thus showcasing what would occur if Messi was simply absent from the same season. We can see from two simple matches that when Messi is simply not there, the number of goals that his home team Barcelona tends to score is far less than if he was simply present. This is currently being utilized to determine the ELO ratings from when Messi is present compared to when he's not present. Now, to help convert La Liga ELO ratings to Premier League ELO ratings, a simple linear regression model was implemented to adjust La Liga ELO ratings to Premier League ratings. For instance, there's something known as the Champions League. This is a tournament in where the four greatest Premier League teams play against the four best La Liga teams, thus showcasing how La Liga teams tend to operate against Premier League teams and giving me ELO ratings which are adjusted towards Premier League ratings. Utilizing the ELO ratings, which I got from running a season when Messi's present and he's not present from those two data sets, I can convert those ELO ratings to the ELO ratings towards the Champions League utilizing this simple regression model, and where I found the coefficient to be 0.0347, thus allowing me to determine essentially a La Liga ELO rating which has been adjusted towards the Premier League rating, and therefore showcasing how Messi would perform against Premier League teams. In order to better make the Poisson model more robust, I've added a new variable known as the aggression factor. Right now, currently being tested are certain types of attributes towards this aggression factor, such as the number of fouls, the number of yellow cards, or the number of red cards, to showcase an aggressive impact, and therefore show how this tends to interact with the Messi variable, and thus give a more substantial conclusion. To summarize my findings in a few words, even though I haven't come towards a robust conclusion, I've nonetheless created a process which would allow me to add simple factors and therefore follow this process to reach a particular conclusion. First, I have a Poisson model which has the Lionel Messi impact, running it on a data set where Messi is simply absent, completely non-existent, and showcasing the number of expected goals, versus on a data set where he's actually present and seeing the number of expected goals, utilizing those expected goals into an ELO rating formula in where I would calculate Barcelona's ELO ratings in the final season, and therefore convert that towards a Premier League rating in order to determine whether or not Messi would be able to play in the Premier League. Adding this aggressive factor would definitely make my model more robust, and would thus allow me to reach a conclusion which I'm hopefully trying to draw, is the fact that Messi can and will be able to play in the Premier League. And thank you for listening.